Hi, everybody. My name is Olga with GEM Accounting and Tax. GEM Accounting and Tax is a CPA firm that offers tax and accounting services for organizations in early childhood education. So today we want to talk about questions that you can ask your tax professional, especially during this time of the tax season. The goal should be to be as efficient as possible, get the right information, and have your taxes filed without a hassle. So the first question I would ask a tax professional is, are you available year-round for year-round advice and support? You really don't want to be working with an individual who only works 2 months of the year, or maybe 4 out of the 12 months of the year. This profession it's evolving on a daily basis. You want to work with somebody who is available all year round to answer your questions, number one. Number two is also actively training to keep up to date with the changes in the profession, the code, industry changes, and that is available to serve you. So please, look for a professional who's committed to the profession and is available all year round. Okay. Another question that you could possibly ask your tax professional is, can you estimate my tax liability? And maybe they can even suggest for you ways to reduce your taxes. So when you provide enough or adequate information to your tax professional, they should be able to give you a sense of how much you're going to owe. Okay, keep in mind that the tax professional needs to get full information. For example, if you're running a business, okay, by the end of that tax year or that calendar year, you should be able to know how much profit your business made. This is information that you can then share with your tax professional, and they should be able to run the numbers and give you a sense of how much your tax liability is likely to be. Okay? Believe it or not, even at this time, your tax professional may be able to help you reduce that liability. An example is if there's an opportunity for you to put some money for retirement. Okay, so an opportunity for you to invest into your future earnings through a retirement vehicle. Talk to your tax professional once you know how much you owe, and if at that point you have the cash flow and would like to reduce the money that you owe to the state and local and the federal authorities, why don't you consider putting some money aside for retirement? Again, this is just a way for you to have a good relationship with your tax professional. Make sure you furnish all the information they ask of you, and in turn, they should be able to tell you, what to expect in terms of liability, and maybe give you a couple of hints on how to reduce your tax liability. Number three, also ask them what information they need for you to file your taxes. Most tax professionals will use something called a tax organizer. And what really this is just a list of questions that they send to you and ask you to answer those questions in order for them to file your taxes. So everybody is going to be different. Their filing status is going to be different. Their sources of income is going to be different. So each person should have their own set of questions that are asked of them, and please provide this information. This will make the tax prep process efficient. So you can imagine if you give me one W-2 today and then you wait 2 weeks later and furnish another one, that makes it slow and it drags down the tax prep process. So when a tax professional, the tax professional will probably furnish you with either an online questionnaire or maybe an email asking you a number of things. Provide this information. You will then be able to finalize your taxes very quickly. Okay. Another question you want to ask your tax professional is, how do they communicate with your clients? Of course, you can always text, talk, or email, but keep in mind, the best way to communicate, especially when you're exchanging data with your tax professional, is through a secure portal. Please do not send your tax information over email. Emails can be easily hacked, and a lot of times your tax return might have very highly sensitive information. So to protect yourself and also to protect the tax professional, I would suggest you work with a tax professional that is using a secure portal and make use of it. It's to protect your data. Okay. Another question to ask is, what is the fee structure? You really don't want a surprise at the end of the tax prep, and you don't know how much you're gonna owe the professional. It's better to have this conversation, before the work starts. So some tax professionals will prefer to charge a flat fee. Others might charge according to the complexity of the tax return. You might be a business owner with several entities, and because of that, you might end up paying a little bit more for your tax preparation compared to somebody who only has W-2 income. So make sure you understand what the fee is going in so that you don't have surprises at the end of the process. Okay. The other one maybe you can ask is, which expenses are deductible? Very, very important to be aware of that. The tax law changes from time to time based on legislation. So for example, if you're a W-2 wage earner, you may not be able to claim things like mileage, tolls, the amount of money you're spending on your vehicle, or home office expenses. Make sure that you get the right information from the tax professional. Also do a little bit of research so that you can also test if the tax professional you're working with is knowledgeable. So ask this question, which expenses are deductible? Please do not get caught deducting expenses that you shouldn't write off. And lastly, ask your tax professional, which records to keep. So, in the digital age, a lot of our information is passed around in a digital format. So my rule is always 7 years. So I'm not keeping tax records past 7 years. And as you get more experience in filing your taxes, you'll realize that it's very important to keep records of your sources of income, mortgage statements. But you don't want to keep mortgage statements from 30 years ago, cluttering your house. 7 years is a good measure, and I would also encourage you to use a secure portal, to save your data that you can access at any time. So very important to keep the right records for purposes of your tax record. So again, this is Olga with Gem Accounting and Tax. If you have any additional questions, be sure to inbox me at Olga Odhiambo with Facebook. And thank you for watching. Bye.